Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Virgo. If Virgo is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. Knock, knock, knock. Let's see what these tea leaves have to say. Okay. So, the card that I pulled from the pile today, and it is from the Thoth deck, is the Knight of Wands. Very fiery energy. And so this is a card that's very much related to open, immense feelings. Feeling very much yourself. Feeling very connected to your authentic self. Commanding the potential in your life. Making decisions in your own favor, being productive, having that kind of fire lit under your butt to get going. All right. So, just kind of looking at this really quick here. No. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm spinning it all about. But I just wanted to see this from every angle for sure. Okay, so interesting. We have another rabbit here. Another, and I say that because I just did a reading for Leo and there was a rabbit. So we have this little rabbit here. Now this one, in the last reading, it was lying down. This one is up and moving. Definitely has that very active, alive, full of life kind of spirit happening. I also see up here, it almost looks like a serpent, which is interesting too. We had serpents in the other reading. So we have this kind of very fertile energy, which makes sense. We're this as I am recording this is the eve of the solstice. So this is either summer coming in or the winter, right? Depending on where you're at. And so there's this kind of very phallic energy in that serpent, that fiery creative force. And we have that most receptive and fertile rabbit energy. And I think that this is so much about you creating opportunities for yourself, feeling so confident about your abilities to get things done. Not only done, but successful. Really, really good at putting things together. And whatever field you work in, industry, your passions, your home life, you are just a person that knows what they're doing. And if you don't, you figure it out. And then you do know what you're doing, right? I want to look at this over here. We have this chair. It almost looks kind of like a lounge chair or something. And we have a person kind of reaching up into there. For me, this is very much the motif of somebody who is taking their throne. Not the lounge chair, but that's just kind of what it looks like. But that's not. We'll think of it as like a throne. Coming into your, your wisdom. Having a deep understanding. And I think this is so much about who you are as a person. I think that at times in your life, people around you, and I don't think that they are being hurtful on purpose or belittling or whatever. I don't know that it's intentionally nefarious towards you or your character. But I think that people around you at times have had a tendency to measure your success by your relation to others. What do I mean by that? Well, how successful you are as a parent based on how well your kids are doing. Are they straight A students? Did they go to a good college? Did they marry the right kind of person? Or maybe, somebody like your spouse or who you affiliate yourself with. Somebody that makes good money or they're very attractive, very charming. Maybe people have judged you by your parents, your family, Are they well known in the community? Are they in good standing with, their social groups? These kinds of things, right? Do they have money? Do they have a business? Whatever it is. And I feel like people have done this to you, not because you're unimpressive. That's not it at all. But I think that in some ways it just has felt like you are a footnote to other people's lives. Because maybe you're just so studious and diligent. You work hard. You do what you need to do and beyond. But that's all changing for you, right? I think that you have decided no more of that. I'm not going to be based on somebody else's success, their choices, what they're doing. You are taking your rightful place in your life as, the center of your world. And of course, our children are as well the center of our worlds. Most of the time, of course, but I think that it's just, you're just not having it anymore. It's just not going to happen. I feel like you're just over it, right? There's an immense force behind you, behind this. Just, it's like every time you come in contact with somebody, they're asking you, oh, how is your spouse doing? How's their whatever going on? How is your kids? How are they doing? And people are just being nice, but it really, you notice when people are more preoccupied with all these other things. They don't ask you how you're doing. How is your thing going? What have you been up to? What have you been thinking about? And it doesn't always have to be like that. I mean, my goodness, I know. Sometimes it's just the dynamic or, how you know the person. But I think, I feel like it is just a time. And here we have an enthroned person, and it almost looks like somebody kneeling, right? And I feel like, to me, this is a time to have that love affair of your life with yourself. No more waiting for outside verification that other people care what you're doing, that other people, confirm that you're perceivably successful or doing well or accepted or whatever. I think this is really, you're in the cycle of fiercely entangled with the beloved, with your interior being, becoming your own soulmate. No more of that, whatever that thing is, a twin flame or whatever. Not to alienate you if you are into that, but I don't know. I don't necessarily think that we should be looking for extensions of ourselves and other people when we have a lot of work to do right here at home, in our own temple, in our own being. It's a distraction. This is a good time to court yourself, to get to know yourself, to ascend to that exalted place in your own life, to fall so in love with yourself, so madly in love with yourself. Can you imagine what that would be like? It doesn't have to be like the superficial things, like, oh, I'm so hot, I got this money, everybody wants me, whatever, that's fun too, of course, in those moments that we're feeling ourselves. But I mean really, really seeing that burning, beautiful spirit and embracing it, and it being enough. I heard something the other day where they were talking about how it's a lifetime of work to even begin to know ourselves, because we shift so often, we grow, we evolve. The truths about ourselves, they change. And so it takes a lifetime to really, really not only know ourselves, to be able to kind of identify ourselves, but to also embrace what we see, what we encounter. I think about sometimes when people say, if I saw myself out in the world, I came in contact with myself, I don't know if I would even know it was me. That's an interesting concept. Would we know? And would we like that person? I mean, would we want to be friends with that person? Would we want to spend our lives with that person? I don't know. I see a little dolphin. Beautiful, happy, spiritual being, psychic. You're a Virgo. You're very intuitive. very psychic. You know before it's even going to happen. You just have that ability to suss things out. You can anticipate what people are going to do, say, maybe not every single time, but when it matters, yeah. You're able to read the energies of the room. You watch how people move. You know. And so I think that in the next to it looks like a hammer. So I feel like there will be some kind of encounter with somebody. And I see 3 and 3, okay? And I don't know exactly what those are, but it seems like maybe, I don't know, maybe it almost feels like encounters with somebody that have to do with a 3, maybe a date, maybe the amount of people. I don't know exactly, but I feel like there's somebody in your life who is not super central to your life, but you perceive something weird about them. Not weird, like they're not weird. That's not what I mean. I mean, they might be, but it's just off. The energy is off. It's like kind of invasive. A little bit maybe off-putting. Aggressive. Maybe competitive, but I don't know. It's like, it seems more like on the attack. But there's not necessarily anything to compete for there, you know? Anyways, I see the same. I think that, you know, I feel like this person is trying to really, really break down your boundaries. So I think it's really important to use that kind of psychic ability, that intuitive ability that you have, and watch out for this. Make sure that you are safe, that your sacred things, your home life, your personal life, your family, your work, all that stuff safe from this person as much as you can. If they're contacting you and stuff, document it. Keep receipts. I don't know how serious it is, but I think that, you know, this is a person who seems a little bit, you know, they might take things really far. They might not. Maybe they're just like a transient kind of energy in your life. And it's funny because I just talked about this a few days ago about how, you know, we really hope that we don't catch the eye of somebody who is like obsessive, who is too interested, gets too familiar, you know, this kind of thing. Because that can be so uncomfortable. It can be scary. Don't wait to see how it plays out. Block them. You know, don't let them into your life. Don't invite them, you know. Don't even engage. I think the best way, don't engage. If you just don't engage, most of the time they'll like fade away. You know, I feel like in my experience, that's, you know, how I deal with that stuff. So just keep an eye out for somebody who really, really is just, I don't know, passive aggressive maybe is what it is. Okay, let's see. Excuse me. We have a bit of a cold going around in the house, and I have been really hoping I don't get it. I'm the only one that doesn't seem to have it. Even Paul, shout out to you, Dove and Serpent. He's been sick. So, I feel like this one, it looks like a person like jumping up to touch something. It reminds me of like, you know, just like trying to hit the ceiling. But it looks to me like somebody holding like a torch. Okay, and I feel like this is very much about like, well, we have all that fiery energy. And here, let's see. We have the Knight of Wands holding the wand that's on fire, right? So it looks like we have this person, and let me see if I can get this up. This person holding up like a wand or whatever, and it has fire. This person's like trying to touch the end of it. Okay, so I feel like this is very much about seeking illumination. I also think it's like, it's kind of a warning in a way not to seek understanding through other people, because you'll get burnt. You cannot. It's okay, obviously, that we read things, we study different systems, techniques, figuring out life and what other people feel about life, philosophies, you know, what have you. But when we become too dogmatic about something, we don't have our own room to create, to perceive in our own way, and through our own experience, through our own paradigm that we create as we live. You can get burnt from that. That's, you know, when you get into trouble because you cannot live up to somebody else's worldview. You can't live within it's a very performative way to live. You know, and you can make it your own for sure. But I think it's so important. And listen, I'm preaching to the choir. I know us Virgos, we are really, really headstrong about our own way. We learn how to do things. People help us learn how to do things. But, you know, I'm going to take my own path. As soon as I figure out the simple mechanics of something, I'm going to figure out how to do it my way and make it work, streamline it usually. Hopefully it has some longevity, maybe not all the time, but, you know, we take things and we make them our own. And so, falling into that trap of really trying to live within somebody else's, hallucination or, imagined, you know, perception of reality, very hard to do, very difficult to do. Okay, and now I want to take a look at this one down here. We have, I see this beautiful little figure, and it looks like somebody in contemplation, maybe wearing a dress or a robe. Okay. And I think that, you know, with all of this energy, with all of this like real, it's like just this unshakable relationship that you have with yourself, that you are coming into, this confidence, right? Taking the throne for yourself. I think that there is, you know, there needs to be a lot of time for contemplation, meditation, really considering your movements. When we obtain our own powers within ourselves, we have to honor ourselves and others as much as we can, right? With great power comes great responsibility, or whatever. So I just see kind of sitting and staring at the sky, contemplating the universe, you know, the depths of your soul and all of these kinds of things. When you have time, of course, make some time. Try try to make some time. And then also we have this little bird here. And, you know, I think it's just a lot about the peace. The heart feels lighter, on fire, swollen, but lighter somehow. You know, and I think that's true. Especially as we get older, we know ourselves. We less and less every day care what other people think or what their opinion is or whatever. Our hearts become lighter. They really do. So it is, you know, a great relief to come into those years where you just kind of do as you will. All right, so I want to thank you so much for spending this time with me. It's always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. I'm going to ask you if you would be so kind to like the video. It's helping us get into the algorithm. All of the engagement, the sharing the videos, leaving comments, liking things, you know, it really helps, and it's growing the channel. Our community is growing. We've just gone over 10,000 subscribers. That's amazing to me. It literally blows my mind. So if you haven't subscribed, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are going to come out. I'm on a schedule where I read every sign once a week. And between now and the next Virgo, you can watch your other placements, your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising, Venus, cross-watching, all of those good things. And if you want to leave a comment, please think about doing that too. I read all of them, and I try to get back to each and every one of them in a timely manner. I always have the intent to do it quickly. Sometimes life gets in the way, so it might take a day or two. But I do read them, and I do appreciate them so much. I mean, the love is just immense. So I want to thank you again, and we will talk again really soon.